Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the channel. This is Grady, the Alchemist. The word and thought that I have for you today is entitled Choices. Making the right choices. Decisions that help you make the right choices. On today, there are many distractions. In fact, some are calling it we live in an age of distraction, which diminishes one's ability, if not focused, to make right decisions or choices. Yes. I've determined in life that in order to make right choices, one must have the wisdom of Yahuwah, Alua, God the Father, the Sovereign King, in the name of Yahusha, Hamashiach, Jesus the Messiah. I've determined that without his wisdom, your decisions and choices are going to be totally saturated and diluted with mixed and confused feelings and thoughts. Let me give you the backdrop, the biblical backdrop for why I say this. In the book of the law, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19, it says these words, that thou mayest, let me back up. The Deuteronomistic writer says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Wow. Yahuwah really laid it down in the law there, didn't he? In other words, your choices not only affect you, particularly it affects your seed or your future seed or your posterity, generations yet unborn. And what you do just doesn't affect you. It affects the people around you, your family, your friends, and loved ones. So it becomes very important and critical in the day in which we live to have the wisdom to make good choices, excellent decisions. And so Yahuwah has said this, there is basically before you two paths. One is life and one is death. If you choose life, you choose blessing. And if you choose death, you choose cursings. That's what he's saying. And in New Testament language, it would read something like this. Today, you have an opportunity to make good choices or to make choices other than good that will cost you even your life. And so the scripture has reminded us that if it were not for the very elect of us, if it were not for the Spirit of God, even the very elect of us would be deceived. Thank God we can't be deceived, those of us who have been called and sent by God. But the deception is so distracting and so confusing. It's difficult for people to make good choices. And so I encourage you today to follow Holy Scriptures, to follow the teachings of Yahuwah and Yahusha, Hamashiach, that you might make good choices that not only affect you, but affect those who love you, those you're in an environment with, and especially those who are unborn and yet to be a part of your bloodline and lineage. choices, make good choices, your life will certainly reflect that. Did you receive that good news with joy? Yes. In other words, no matter what you say or what excuse you come up with, God gave human beings the ability to choose right life or to choose left or death. You can't blame anybody for what you choose once you reach the age of accountability. And that age, what we understand as scholars, is by the age of about 12. So will you do that? Will your first choice be that to choose Yahuwah and then follow his teachings by Yahushua HaMashiach? And if you do that today, your choices will be the result of good living. This is your servant's prayer. This is my prayer for you. Shalom, Mishpachah. Shalom, family. Until then.